20, CQ 20 meters, CQ. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, calling CQ. CQ 20 meters, CQ 20 meters, CQ 20, CQ 20 meters, CQ. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, calling CQ and standing by for a call. CQ 20 meters, CQ 20, CQ 20 meters, CQ, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, calling CQ and standing by for call.
November 8, X-ray.
November 8, X-ray. Thanks for giving us a call. Good afternoon. Name here is Randy, Romeo Alpha November Delta Yankee. We are 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. Go ahead.
Randy, I'm in central New Jersey, about 35 miles west of New York City. I'm only running 100 watts. You have a great signal. You're S9 here into Bedminster, New Jersey.
Okay, fine business. I take it you go by Bill, is that correct?
That's right.
Oh, terrific. Well, that's great, Bill. Hey, it's working. That's the whole key, of course. And that's all we're all striving for. We just got out here. Thought we would call CQ so we make some contacts this afternoon. We come out here about 2 o'clock Central each day during the week. We also live stream on YouTube, which we are currently doing as well. And so we see if we can make a few contacts and have some fun on the air as well there, Roger.
Well, that's good. The band was terrible early on. It seems to, there seems to be picking up a little bit. So that's good. I've been in Kansas City a few times. I remember going to the steakhouses there. That was the main thing. So I used to work in oil and I would have been in Kansas City for some reason associated with that, but I remember the great steakhouses. Back to you.
Yeah, we're certainly fairly fortunate with that, and we do have some pretty decent barbecue as well, which is nice, especially being really close to the metro. We're out in the country off of Interstate 70. And if I told you the town, you'd probably scratch your head and say, what'd he say? So it's a much easier to give a mile and a bigger town because, it's just generally farm community. So you can usually identify Kansas City, St. Louis, and maybe Columbia, but that's probably about it. So that's what we use. But, yeah, it's a treat that we give ourselves generally every weekend. We go to one of the local barbecue places and have takeout. And you can get spoiled real quick, Roger.
Yeah, I don't remember barbecue there, but I do remember the steakhouses. And for some reason, I remember one of the steakhouses was like next to a slaughterhouse or something. But anyway, it was, you wouldn't think that was a big draw, but actually, very fresh beef. And I have a friend here. I'm in a fly fishing club, and he grew up in St. Louis, and so he was out in St. Louis most of his life before he came out here to New Jersey. So anyway, but the funny thing is, my grandson went out to St. Louis for a fencing competition. He's in fencing, and I asked my friend out there, who was from St. Louis, to recommend places in St. Louis, and he had no idea whatsoever. I said, "What about the Arch?" And okay. But anyway, all right, back to you.
Yeah, again, it's you start naming off landmarks, and then you can kind of figure out. Oh yeah, I know where that's at. And I'm the same way. Of course, I've got a little cheater here because the logging program that I have, as soon as I put a call in, it'll give me the worldwide view, and then I can actually scroll in. So based upon what you said, you're north of Bridgewater Township, you're kind of south and west of Morristown, you're east of Washington, so you can kind of narrow it down. So that helps us as well. But again, most people would probably identify with the Arch than they probably would Kansas City, unless, well, the last year or so, if I said Kansas City Chiefs, that would probably help. But it's okay, though. I mean, we're used to it, of course. We have one stop sign, no stoplights, one stop sign, but you don't need to because they hardly have any traffic. So, and we're okay with that as well, Roger.
Yeah, I guess I was just curious because he couldn't really name any sites in his hometown. But anyway, I looked at your picture here on QRZ and I see you have a hex beam. I have a dipole. It's a 160-meter half-wave dipole. I was just thinking about getting a hex beam about 20 meters. The bottom one was just put it on the roof, to see how it worked, and then eventually raise it up further. But you have a great signal, so it's working fine for you.
Yeah, I tell you, the hex beam was a game changer for me. So it has certainly changed my total outlook on amateur radio. We've had it up since 2012. We do bring it down on the tilt over about once a year for inspection purposes. But yeah, it really works real well. It's broadbanded, of course, and there's bigger and better gain and so forth. But if you can find me an antenna that'll work 6 through 20 for under $1,000, I'll go buy it. But there isn't one out there.
Yeah, I was thinking about buying one of these Opti-Beam things originally, but they're really, really expensive, and also the weight is very high. And I went to look for the installation details, and for all the money and everything, it is very install the thing in the tower. So it made me worried. So I was thinking maybe I'd get this thing. I read all the reviews on the section. Everybody seems to love it, so I thought I might try that. I did pretty well with the X-ing recently, but sometimes I can hear a station like Kuwait or Russia or places like that, and they can't hear me. Anyway, but I thought I might do that.
Well, again, it doesn't take a whole lot to get it in the air. For instance, mine, they say the optimum is between 30 and 55, and I was making contacts with it 4 foot off the ground, so it will certainly work. And if elevation is always our friend with any antenna, but this is really resilient. It's a 2-element Yagi basically, and again, I think anytime you can direct your signal, it's going to make amateur radio a lot more fun. Roger. Mine is from Roger Rockwell, NA4RR out of Pensacola, Florida.
Okay. Look at that. You have a rotator, I guess, right? So you rotate it in 5 direction.
Yeah, I was at a local ham fest years ago when I got the antenna up. A little overkill. I've got a ham 2 rotor, which is really, pretty much overkill, but I did not want to have that extra weight at the top of the tower, so mine is inside the tower 4 foot off the ground, and then I run a center mast pipe up to the center, about halfway up to a thrust bearing on a plate that takes the weight off of the rotor, and then I have another thrust bearing at the very top. So I'm sitting at 45 feet at the base plate right now, Roger. Yeah, it sounds good, Bill. Listen, if you're interested, like I said, we're live streaming on YouTube. If you want to hear yourself on the air, you can either go to YouTube and put in my call, or you can go to my QRZ page. I have a link for it as well. And again, you could listen to the playback. We do have information there. We do a weekly drawing for a free ham radio gift certificate or gift card from a local amateur store here in the metro. And that information is on my QRZ page as well. So if you're interested in registering or sign up or qualify, however you want to put it, the information's there. If not, no problem. But like I said, if you're interested in listening to your playback, I think it sounds great. Signal's not really strong, but that's okay. And you can probably look at about the 7-minute mark in. You could fast forward to there, and we'll see how it goes for you. Anyway, thanks for giving us a call, Bill. The first one so far today. I do appreciate it. And again, we're out here usually 2 o'clock Central during the week. Tomorrow we'll be down on 40 meters, 40-meter Fridays, and we'll try to have some fun with that as well. In the meantime, enjoy what's left of your day, and have a great weekend that's coming up as well. You be safe and be well, and look for you again. November 8, X-Ray, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 7-3s.
Okay, Randy, 73, great talking to you, and I'll try to check the future tonight. So this is NAXX clear with K0RWB.
That sounds good, Bill. Take care. This is Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy, Kansas City, QRZ, any stations, anywhere.
Kilo Delta 2, Victor Juliet Delta.
Kilo Victor 2, Victor Juliet Delta. Good afternoon. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty well, thanks. Just to correct that, it's Kilo Delta 2, Victor Juliet Delta. This is Scott in New York.
Yeah, my apologies. You know, I typed it in there right, Scott, but sometimes there's a disconnect between what I see and what I say. My apologies. I've got you in the log here as well, Scott. And thanks for giving us a call. We're like I said, we're out playing radio this afternoon, and doing a lot of live streaming on YouTube as well, and trying to make some contacts and have some fun. Not really sure what kind of conditions the band is in currently, but you know, this is the second contact in your part of the world, so I'd say at the moment it's not doing too bad there. Go ahead.
Yeah, your signal's coming in really strong. I'd say 5 and 10 over here in upstate New York. Where are you calling from now?
Yeah, the QTH, we are 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. Again, the name here is Randy. And we come out here about 2 o'clock Central during the week. And then on Fridays, we go down to 40 meters. So we call it 40-meter Fridays. And we do a little live stream on YouTube at the same time. Roger?
Roger that. That sounds great. Yeah, you're coming in very clear here. Yeah, not sure of the bands today. I've had a few contacts from Eastern Europe, but otherwise it's been a little bit spotty in different places.
Yeah, we didn't have a chance this morning to get on the radio, so we're just kind of calling CQ and see what happens. It's kind of been like that kind of most of the week for me here, Central U.S. anyway. Signals will start off really strong and drop off, or sometimes vice versa. But making the contact is really, to me, is really the key, and have some fun in the process. I mean, maybe share a few stories and what's going on in the area and so forth. And of course, weather is always a big topic, especially this time of year. But yeah, I've got a good signal on you as well. You're, about 5'8" to 5'9". I'd be curious on your working conditions and what you have over there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just have 100 watts with a dipole. It's not particularly high. It's about 30 feet up. And yeah, that's it. No amplification or anything like that. But conditions here, the weather is good. It was rainy earlier today, and it's cleared up a lot in the last couple of hours.
Yeah, I think you got our weather. We had quite a bit of rain several days ago, and it is not particularly warm, but the sun is shining, so that's always a good thing. And I think it certainly gets us a lot closer to spring, even though they say it is. The second week of March through all of April, at least in my part of the country, Mother Nature still plays jokes, and we can even have snow. So we're thankful we don't at the moment. It's certainly manageable outside. and inside. We haven't had to run the furnace. That's always nice as well. But tomorrow's another day, and again, it's you never know what kind of weather you're going to wake up to, Roger.
Yep, that's definitely the truth. We had the same here. We had a little bit of snow overnight, but luckily nothing stuck around. But we don't get our hopes too high, because we know that April storm up here in northern New York is always a threat. But the lakes are thawed out nicely, and we're slowly looking forward to summer. You know, we're still holding our breath, but it's coming soon. So, you know, if we get one more storm, we'll handle that. You know, it won't be a surprise, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's you know, and it can pop up by any moment. That's the other thing, and you know, I don't mind the rain and I don't mind the wind. I just don't want to put them together, and of course, tornadoes are never a fun thing as well. So we certainly don't want to talk about that stuff, and I hope nobody else has to worry about it this time of year either. But it always seems as though you know, somebody's going to have some bad weather, and you kind of hate to see that, but you know, you just got to hunker down and hope for the best, Roger.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's one thing we don't worry about too much up here. We did have a little small one come kind of close a couple of years ago, knocked down a bunch of trees, and went along the Hudson River up here. But yeah, that's a rare occurrence, and probably, hopefully, knock on wood, won't ever happen again. Yeah, up here is just the wind and the ice and the tall pine trees. We watch them sway in the backyard, and we just hope that they sway and they don't come down. Because they're pretty tall, and a couple of them will probably reach the house. But you know, I'm thinking is they've been there a long time, and hopefully they'll stay there, stay there a long time more without coming down.
Yeah, yeah, that would not be a good thing. Definitely, definitely true. Well, listen, I'm going to see if we can get a few more contacts there. I do appreciate you giving me a call. I've got some people here on the live chat that I'm going to see if I can reach out to, whatever. But again, if you're interested in listening to yourself on the air, you can come listen to our QSO. You can either go to my QRZ page. I've got a link for that for the YouTube, or you can go to YouTube, put in my call, and then look for today's video, of course. And yeah, it's just kind of a fun thing, you know. Your audio sounds really good. The signal's not really super strong, but I think that's just the conditions. I mean, you're running 100 watts on a wire, and that's no complaints. I think that works really well compared to some of the other stations I hear from time to time that are doing a whole lot more. But you know, conditions do everything for us. But anyway, if you're interested, give a look, give a listen, and we've also got some information there as well if you're interested in entering, qualifying, subscribing, whatever, for our weekly giveaway. We have a gift card that we do each Wednesday night drawing from a local amateur radio store. It costs you nothing other than say hi and what have you. But take a look at that as well, Scott. And by all means, give us a call again. Again, we're out here 2 o'clock Central during the week. And by all means, give us a call again. We'll pick it up where we left off. But thank you for coming back. Do appreciate it. Enjoy your day. Be safe, and be well. And have a great weekend. Kilo Delta 2, Victor Juliet Delta, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 730.
Okay, and you guys have a enjoy the rest of your day. And thank you for the contact. And yeah, I'll definitely check that UQRZ page out, and I'll take a look at that. Thanks again. Kilo Zero RWB. This is KD2BJD 73.
Yeah, thanks again, Scott. 73s. We'll go ahead and clear with him and see if we can pick up Doug. Kilo Delta 2 UKA. Doug, are you out there today? Go ahead.
Yes, Roger, Randy. Long-time listener, first-time caller. How are you copying? Over.
I think you're manageable at this point, brother. Yeah, you're doing good, of course. How about 5.9 plus? That make you happy?
It makes me very happy. You're 10 over. You were 5 over. Now you're 10 over. Sounding amazing. I'm looking at the YouTube right now, and tell me about what this remote software is for the 7300. It looks great.
I can't take credit for it. That's going to be Armando up in your neighborhood. He and I worked on that this morning, and he helped me get it set up, and then we finally got it figured about 50 minutes before we came out here to stream. So that's why we're in Studio B today. I wanted to give it a try and see how it worked. Now, I'm in front of it, of course, but we can run it remote, but we wanted to try it this way first to see how it worked. And, yeah, I mean, it's we still want to play with it a little bit, maybe do little tweaks here and there, so we try to get it to match as much as possible into Studio A, I guess you would say. And this is about as close as we can get at the moment. I do like the waterfall. I do like the display with the radio. So it mimics the radio quite well display-wise, other than the knobs and buttons on the side. But I'd have to refer you to Armando to know exactly how it works, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Well, it looks really, really good. I'm going to start, once I'm done with all the antenna projects, I have an old FT950 and an old, FT857. And off eBay, I ordered this little circuit board that I'm going to, if I break the radio, I don't care, because it's been sitting in a garage for 10 years. But I'm going to try to tap into the first IF on the 950 and add a pan adapter and try to get that. I might use a second radio with the SDR for more DX work and keep the SDR and the audio all, the rag chew all set up separately. But I just sold my 7300. Now I'm kind of wishing I didn't, because this looks really good, Randy. Over.
Yeah, I did the IF integrate for the 950 as well, and just used a basic dongle off of eBay and used the I'd have to go look at a ham radio something for the SDR display. Worked quite well too, by the way, and you can even listen to AM FM stations, radio stations, and dial it around. And I did that for quite a long while, and then I traded the 950 in January for this particular radio that we ran for a few weeks, and then we got the Yaesu FTDX10, which is the primary. But we're still having fun with this one, and this actually works out well. The wife is doing some conference calls. Our offices are right next to each other, and I didn't want her to have to hear or listen to me, so nice that we were able to come down here. And the difference from earlier, Doug, was I just did another controller, so now I can actually rotate the beam from down here and from upstairs, so that's why I'm directly on it this time. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, it sounded really good. All right, my friend, I'm going to let you go and make some more contacts. The page looks great. The signal sounds great. And I'm sure we'll speak again shortly. So, let's see. Kilo Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo, KB2 UKA 73, Randy. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Doug. And I'm glad we were able to, sorry about yesterday, of course, and I think we talked about that earlier, but I saw you on the chat, so I was just going ahead and call you out before we had to worry about anything else. I have no idea what the band's like, so, I mean, this could be the last contact, or maybe there's some waiting. I don't know. It's kind of a neat deal. It's kind of like Christmas. You never know what's in the next go-round, but that's okay. Sounds good as well. I'm going to play again a little bit on that on the recording transmit. I'll get it figured out, but and then I'll touch base with you. But thanks for your support. We try to do yours as well when we can, and nice to work you this afternoon. And I'm sure we'll have many, many more QSOs to go. Kilo Delta 2, Uniform Kilo Alpha, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. 73, Doug.
All right, Randy, 73, sounding great. KB2 UKA QSY.
Roger, Roger. K0RWB, Randy in Kansas City. QRZ, any stations, anywhere.
Whiskey 3, Juliet, Fox, Delta.
You know, I heard you a while ago. I apologize for that. Whiskey 3, Juliet, Fox, Delta, and I wrote it down. I don't know why I didn't go ahead and call you, but thanks for hanging in there. Jim, how are you doing this afternoon?
Oh, good. Yeah, just in the chat. Yeah, when I put on my call, I think you were in the middle of a QSO or someone tuned up there, so I'm just giving a little time there and figured I'd try it again. Yeah, you're coming in about 5-9 into Delaware, and station sounds good there. Over.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Nice to hear you from Delaware. That's a state, either my timing is off or location I don't get into too very often, so I appreciate you giving us a call today. And yeah, again, we're playing radio this afternoon, and we take calls and try to grab them the best we can. And I'm really fortunate. Some people are very persistent and very patient, and we try to work them when we can and so forth. And I appreciate you standing by there. And like I said, we're having radio fun here this afternoon. And we're making some contacts, and we're streaming on YouTube. And it's also April Fool's Day, which that's not an April Fool's Day joke, but it's a new month, and hopefully it's a new start for better things to come. There, Roger. Yeah, Jim, that's the funny thing about these bands. 1 second you're there and 1 second you're gone. And you kind of dropped out on my receive as well. But, we do this every day during the week, 2 o'clock Central, so I'm sure we'll have a chance for many more QSOs. And feel free to give us a call again, and we'll try to start a good QSO if the bands will let us. But thank you again for giving us a call today. Be safe and be well. And have a good weekend coming up. So we'll say 7-3s for now. Whiskey 3, Juliet Foxtrot Delta, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 7-3s. Okay, 7-3s. This is Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, QRZ, any station anywhere.
Whiskey 4, Tango, Sierra Hotel.
The Whiskey 4 Tango again, please.
Whiskey 4 Tango, Sierra Hotel.
Okay, Bobby, how you doing? Got you earlier, so how am I doing today now that you got on the air? Go ahead.
You're doing good. I got you about a 5.7. Audio's great. Doing a great job watching you on YouTube. Could do away with that picture in the left-hand corner. Should be something there a little better looking to look at, but anyway, we'll deal with that, Randy. Thought I'd check in for the numbers. Looks like it's a little slow, and the band's not that great, but anyway, you're doing a great job there, buddy.
Well, you know what? You're not the first one to say that. And when I started this, Bobby, we had this open space, and my wife is a whole lot better at designing and what have you. And I said, I don't know what to put there. She goes, well, I've got a webcam. She said, we can do that, and you could put it on yourself. I said, well, who wants to look at me? So anyway, if people like it, it was her idea. If people don't like it, it was still her idea. How about that?
Yeah, that'll work. Evidently, she likes it. She's probably watching it too right now. You can never tell for sure. But anyway, I won't tie you up. Done talked to you earlier. Still holding in coming from Kansas in the middle part of the country. But that's about it. Not much propagation going on. But anyway, thought I'd check you out and have the opportunity to check in there, Randy. You carry on, my friend. Hope to catch you later. I did subscribe, so I love YouTube. I think I told you that earlier, so I'll be checking in periodically when I can think about it. But at my age, my memory, I'm 74, so my memory is, you know how that is anyway. But anyway, 73, have a great day. Good luck. You're doing a great job. K0RWB, W4, TSA, 73, Randy.
Roger. Well, you're 10 to almost 20 over on there, and appreciate that. And like I said, if you're interested in entering, qualifying, whatever you want to put it for next week's gift certificate, you can go back to the chat and just put in your call, and then K4P, that's kidney for Papa Phil. He's a ham up in Michigan that's got kidney failure, and we've been trying to get the word out, awareness, maybe testing and so forth. So if you're interested in doing that, you can. And yeah, I did see the scribe thing. Thank you very much for doing that. Appreciate your support. Apparently, you didn't get into Wyoming, or you'd probably still be talking. I know you were looking for some West Coast stations, but and you never know about 20. You hang around, it could come back around again. But yeah, we got the rotor now, so designed down here, so we're able to get dialed in on you a little better. So terrific signal here on my receive. Thanks again, Bobby, and by all means, come back again. We'll have a little bit longer QSO and see how it goes. But for now, I thank you, and nice to talk with you earlier today as well for answering my call. So I am glad I was able to return the favor. Enjoy your weekend as well. Be safe and be well. Whiskey 4 Tango Sierra Hotel, Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo 73. It's K0RWB QRZ, any station anywhere.
Kilowatt 4 India Tango Bravo.
India 4. Kilo 4, excuse me, India Tango Bravo. Good afternoon. How are you, sir?
How you doing? K0RWB, K4ITB here. The handle is Bill. Bravo India Lima Lima is my short name for the radio. Good sounding signal coming from your direction, 5 and 9 plus 10 sometimes. And I'm just new on the ham hobby, enjoying radio a little bit this evening. Back to you.
Well, fine business. Well, I'm glad you did. Thank you for giving us a call there. We've got your page pulled up there, and yeah, I know that equipment. I used to have a 757. If you still got that, the power supply is great, and you've got the tuner as well. That's terrific, and they're great primaries, and they're good secondaries. And it looks like you've got a 7000. I used to have one of those. I had a 4-button. Looks like this picture is a 3-button. I had a 4-button, and I do kick myself from time to time for getting rid of it, Roger.
Oh, yeah, roger that. Yeah, just picked that up not too long ago, just to add on. Matter of fact, this is the first week I had it in line, and it seems to be nice and smooth. I don't have much interference anywhere inside or outside, so works good. A good compliment for this old 30-year-old radio. And the antenna is a fairly new antenna. It's the bottom of the page on the QRZ. Just added that 05 vertical antenna, and having a little bit of fun with that right now. Randy, back to you.
Oh, terrific. Yeah, you know, the radios don't know how old they are, generally speaking. So, and I looked over at the meter, and you're a 5.9 plus 5 to 10. So the combination of antenna, radio, and everything else is doing a great job. You know, it's unfortunate, or it's actually, short-lived, but the 7000 was a great amplifier for a solid-state amp. And like I said, I guess I had a weak moment, and I let it go. And so I've got somewhat of a replacement. I'm running it right now. It's an old Ten-Tech Hercules 2, which is a solid-state, and it's a good 500 to maybe 500 on peaks, 550 on peaks. But it's still not the same as that 7000. And I understand there's still a gentleman that does repair on them, and also kind of tweaks them a little bit as well. So it'll be interesting to see if I can ever find one again. Maybe we'll go that route. Roger.
Roger that, Randy. K0RWB, K4ITB. Now, this is with the amp off. This is just the radio. I did turn the processor on. Maybe it affected the audio, and maybe it did not. Still a good copy there, Randy?
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of noise, but I have no problems copying it at all, so it's working fine.
Roger. Okay. Well, thank you for being there, and we'll listen for you again further down the line, and we'll check out, I see your page. You have a recording going on. We'll look at that and see what difference the amp or without the amp makes. Take care, Randy. Enjoy the radio. We'll crosswise with you again. K0RWB, K4ITB, Bill in Virginia. Have a good one.
Okay, Bill. My pleasure. Thank you very much. Yeah, there's two ways you can go to the channel, and you can actually listen to our QSO, because it's being recorded as well. On my QRZ page, there's a link, or you can go to YouTube and type in my call in the search bar, Bill. And I would probably fast forward to about 30 minutes in, thereabouts. That would get you pretty close. And that way, yourself can listen to the differences which you had just done on your transmit audio. It's just something kind of fun. It's interesting. We don't get a chance to hear ourselves on the air. very often. So I thought this would be a unique opportunity to give it a try, and hopefully it's something that people enjoy. So anyway, thanks you for giving us a call out of Virginia, and be safe and be well there, and hopefully you'll have a great weekend coming up, and we'll have an opportunity to work again, I'm sure. Kilo 4, India Tango Bravo, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 73s.
73, Randy.
Okay, well, clear. K0RWB, QRZ, any station, anywhere.
November 3, Uniform Tango Golf.
I got almost November 3. Give me the last again.
November 3, United Tango Golf.
There he is, November 3, United Tango Golf. Kevin, how are you doing today?
I'm all right. I'm just playing around with some antennas here. I recently bought my antenna analyzer, so I'm doing a little bit of work on my inverted L out here. I want to see how it was working.
Well, you know, I can't say for certain just how good the band is or isn't, but we're making contacts, and I think the band is a little bit noisy, but we're able to pull you out, and so we appreciate that. And yeah, you know, playing radio this afternoon is a great thing. The sun is shining where I'm at, and I've got no problems being inside or outside, but it's a little early to take the radio outside as well there, Roger. Well, you know, Kevin, the band is up and down and up and down, so it's we're playing roller coaster today, so I wasn't able to copy that last time around. Let's try it again. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm definitely looking for some warmer temperatures. It's great that the sun is shining, but I'd like to have just a little bit fewer warmer degrees. But I'll take what we can get today. So no complaints. Hey, thanks for giving us a call, Kevin. And yeah, you're up in the air and you're working. That's all we can ask for. So I'll say 7-3s, and hope to work you again. If you hear us out there, please give us a call, and we'll just pick it up where we left off. Enjoy what's left of the day, and you be safe and be well as well, and have a great weekend. And we'll look for us again. November 3, Uniform Tango Golf, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 7-3s. Okay, 7-3. It's Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy, Kansas City, QRZ, any stations anywhere. Okay, CQ20, CQ20 meters. CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, calling CQ, 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 CQ20 meters, CQ. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, calling CQ, any stations anywhere.
K0RWB, Whiskey 1 Golf Charlie.
Whiskey 1 Golf Charlie, big signal, Joe. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'll tell you, my friend, if I was doing any better, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. How are things going in your world?
Oh, I'm in the same predicament you are. It's a beautiful day out. It's finally sunny, but it's cold. We're supposed to get down to like 23 tonight. I'm starting to think it feels like the end of February, beginning of March instead of April. I think this is an April Fool's joke.
Well, you know, don't feel bad. It's playing out here the same way. We're getting these little teaser days of some really, really nice weather, and then you wake up the next morning and it's like, what happened? So yeah, we're not extremely warm. Mid-50s. The sun is shining. Again, I'm not going to complain. And it's supposed to warm up fairly well the weekend. And I believe, of course, you know, who has a job where you can be wrong and still keep it? That's a weatherman. But anyway, they're saying the first of the week we could be touching 80, but I'll believe it when we get there. Roger?
Yeah, don't Don't you love the way they just tease you? You know, they're almost as bad as a woman.
Now you said that, I didn't.
Yeah, it started off in the 50s today with some, well, overnight, shall I say, and then some rain came through, then it turned over to snow. Nothing stuck. It's too warm. But it's 42 degrees outside now with the temperature going down to 25 overnight. Tomorrow's only going to be a high of around, I think, 39, 40 with a wind chill in the 20s. And going back down to 23 tomorrow night. And yippee, we get to see 50 on Saturday. Clap your hands.
Yeah. You know, I was kind of looking at to see where you're at based relative to where I'm at, you know, relative to warm weather, and we're really not that far off, you know, from the azimuth, so to speak. And I'm like, well, why is your weather a little different? I really can't explain it. I'm not a weather person. I'm going to get there. Unfortunately, we get these people that like to check in with me, and for instance, they say it's 80 degrees and hot, and then someone who sells 70 would be better, and so on and so forth. And we're dealing with 50s. That's why if I start pointing the beam down toward Florida, that's all I'm going to hear this afternoon is weather checks, and it can get rather very discouraging there, Roger.
I was on there's a net first thing in the morning on 7.163, and Jim, the guy who lives down there, Whiskey Bravo 2 REM, I think his call sign is, and he's like, yeah, it's cold, you know, it's going down into the 50s and 60s. I'm like, oh, my heart bleeds for you, my poor friend.
Yeah, you know, I had that over the last weekend when I was on the out here on last Friday. And I making contact with some, some Florida stations. Oh, it's going to hit 90 this weekend. And I was like, yeah, okay. I'm going to have to turn my air conditioner on. Yeah, okay. And you want to trade? You're only 40 degrees warmer than I am. I'm not looking forward to turning the AC on because of the bill, but I am looking forward to having it on. And we do fairly well until probably around the 1st of July. And then we get about 60 some odd days where it's just stifling.
Shorts and T-shirts and less clothes, you know, but, you know, in the winter you just can't, well, on the side of the house, like I'm in the house now, house is 68, 69 degrees, somewhere like that, and I got shorts and a T-shirt on, and I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning. I've been down here in front of this computer since 5:30, doing all my proposals and catching up on all the stuff, because I think I told you I own an asphalt paving company, so things are getting quite busy. So I've been doing that, and that's what I did all day today, is my proposals, and now I just got all my voicemails, and then I'm going to start to get in and line up more estimates for tomorrow and Saturday. And then Saturday at 3:40, I get my second vaccine shot. I was supposed to get it Monday, but unfortunately, the wife was so kind. She loves me so much. She was sick last weekend. She said, I got to pass it on to you. So I was sick this weekend, and they told me it was too soon. So come back in a week. I said, okay, I'll see you all Saturday. Whiskey 1 Golf Charlie, back to Kilo 0 RWB.
Well, at least you're getting it done, though. I'm not sure. I haven't heard around where I'm at if there's any illness in between the first and second, what you're supposed to do and so forth. So that's kind of the first I've heard. It's interesting. Yeah, if you're still able to get it and what have you, I think that's good. And it is a great thing what the spouses like to pass along to each other. It seems to be a little bit more one-sided in my household as well, but I can say that because she's not down here. So if she was, you'd hear something different, Roger.
QSL. So I think you're running the FDX10, aren't you, Randy?
No, we're in Studio B today. We were downstairs. The YL has some conference calls. Our offices are right next to each other, and I didn't want to interfere audio or with any possible RF because she's using a headset. So We're in the what used to be the original location. So in this shack, we're running the IC-7300, and the amplifier is a 1010 Hercules, so it's about 500 watts versus the ACOM, which do 1200. We do have another control box, so we're able to move the rotor, which helps a little bit, and so that's really it. It's a Heil it's a Heil ICM mic that's matched with it, which seems to work pretty well. So it's not quite the same, but we're still able to make contacts, Joe, and that's the main thing, Roger.
Same thing, only different, you know. You're able to make the contacts. I tell you what, this morning I could not believe propagation all the way till about noontime. Indonesia was banging in here. One guy was coming in. No, that was VK. VKs were coming in first thing this morning on 40 meters. One guy from down there, Melbourne, with 10 watts was 5.9 up here. Another guy with about 100, 200 watts was about 5.9 plus 20 dB. So conditions were very good earlier this morning. In fact, up to about 10:30, I think I made 5 contacts with Indonesian stations from 20 meters, on 20 meters, and they were all 5.9. But it seems as if the propagation has changed because the solar flux is up to is down to a 67 with an A of 10 and a K of 0. So propagation is kind of fallen down. But I'm hearing you no problem at all. You're 5.9 plus 20 dB, so you're sounding good.
Well, I'll have to give you 10 more. You've been 30. I've got K1, A is at 10, SFI at 74, and Sunspot at 0. So it's just amazing, you know, what you use, where you're at, how it changes. But, you know, I'm hoping it gets better. It seems like it's gotten better compared to what's been the last several years. I'm really waiting for 25 to take over. But if we're at the bottom, I think it's going to be a great thing because it's, you know, really we have nowhere to go but up. So, but we always seem to have a direct pipeline. Of course, I know what you're running, and I'm not surprised why we sound that good, Roger.
Yeah, well, I think I spoke to you before. I switch back and forth between the Apache Anon 200D, and today I'm on the Yaesu FTX 101D and running 1K. So I can cut it back a little bit if it gets to be too overwhelming. And then I got the opto beam pointed pretty dang close to you, 270 degrees. How high is your hex beam? I was looking at your K0RWB page. It looks like it's up there around 45, 50 feet. Is that a Roger? Yep,
it's right at 45 feet at the base plate. And I was told from Roger, who I bought it from, NA4RR, he suggested the optimum height was between 30 and 55. So I said, well, I've got this pipe, I've got this and this. I said, let's just try 45. So I'm actually tempted when the weather gets a little bit warmer to tilt it over and put a 10-foot extension at the bottom where the rotor is and see how it performs at 55. We're going to give it a go, and it's simple enough to bring it back down again. If not, put it back in the configuration. But I'm just curious. I have a hard time getting into Japan, you know, some of the JAs. I can only get to Australia and New Zealand long path. I can't hit them direct for some reason. And I thought, well, let's give it a shot and see what happens.
You got a station when it breaks in there, so I'll let you pick them up. It's your frequency. Yeah, I'm simply amazed of how well they do. A couple guys out here have them, and I've heard them. They seem to do a great job. The nice thing is you don't need a big heavy-duty tower to put them up because they're, you know, lightweight. It's almost like a clothes hanger outside, you know. What do they call those things? Clothesline, outline, except it's a big old basket. You know, like my OptiBeam here, that thing weighs 140 pounds, and it's got a 24-foot boom, and, you know, it's big, so I got to have a heavy-duty tower, heavy-duty rotor, and everything like that. So sometimes I think I went the wrong direction, but anyways, I'll let you pick up the station there, Randy. Whiskey 1 Golf Charlie.
Hey, Joe, always a pleasure. Thanks for giving us a call, and I'm glad the band is not dead. I wish the rest of them were your signal strength. I mean, you've been averaging 20 and 30, so nice to see we've got a direct straight run. That's great. Hey, I hope you get better weather. And you know what they say about all work and no play. I have a feeling you've probably got a good balance there. So anyway, thanks again. Enjoyed it, and always enjoyed talking with you. You always have a good signal, and you always have a lot to say. It makes radio really fun. You be safe and be well. Hope, like I said, no issues with your second shot coming up. And we'll look for you again. I really do enjoy talking with you. I hope to do one of these times off the air where we can just rag to you for a while. But thank you again. I do appreciate it. Thanks for your support as well. Whiskey 1 Golf Charlie, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 73s.
73s. QSL, and don't worry, I'll be back to aggravate you later.
Yeah, I'm not. Why am I not surprised? Take care. This is Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, QRZ, any station, anywhere.
November 1, Delta Radio Sierra.
November 1, Delta Radio Sierra. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Doing very good. Norway 1, Delta Radio Sierra Mobile. Looking downtown Boston at the moment here on 93 northbound. Name here is David, Delta Alpha Victor India Delta, and we're sitting in beautiful rush hour traffic there, over.
Well, at least it's Thursday and not Friday. It's probably be a little bit worse if it was Friday. Boy, yeah, terrific signal, 59 plus 10 in the mobile, and I don't know if you're having to sit or if you're actually moving, but I did not hear any variations in the signal. I'm still trying to figure out how you guys do it mobile-wise. I have not had any success trying to set up a mobile station, so I just gave up. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, very good. Well, the conditions here is it's an ICOM 7000. We are running a power cube, running a smart cube. I'm sorry, running about 500 watts, 4 to 500 whiskey, and the antenna is a High Sierra. 1800? Is it 1800 Pro? 1800 Pro there, over.
Yeah, that's terrific. Well, it's definitely doing well. First off, the radio is terrific. The 7000 is a great radio. No doubt about it. I got your page pulled up. I see this live stream is available. Give me a little rundown on that. Go ahead.
Well, we used to light up the shack there and talk and get out there and similar to what you do, call CQ, and we'd have the live feed going and people could see us talking to them, and people got a big hoot out of it there. Over.
Yeah, I've had a great time with it. I think this is almost the end of week 9. And I didn't get coerced. I got coaxed into it, and I really got to the point where I'm really enjoying it. And it seems as though there's some others out there as well, especially on the live chat. And it is kind of a cool deal. And there for the first 4 weeks, I would in the evenings go listen to the playback, and I'd be like, "Oh, my audio sounds terrible." So I started making little tweaks here and there, and I got it to where I think it's good enough, and nobody's complaining, which is always a good thing with audio. And it does bring something a little different. We're trying to help out with a fellow ham and getting the information out. He's a ham up in Michigan that has kidney failure. We're trying to get the word out for him, and this is part of it as well. And for awareness and possibly some testing and so forth. So we hope that goes well. But it is a lot of fun, and people seem to follow it as well. There, Roger.
Oh yeah, fantastic. Yeah, we don't we stream just a live video. We don't. Well, I should say I don't do the audio side of it. Just the video. And at home we do a little. Well, by the way, your audio is fantastic. It's that's what made me stop, and I've been listening to you for a while here, and fantastic sounding radio. What are you running?
Well, this is Studio B, and I'm not trying to boast or anything, but we have a location downstairs that's away from the wife because our offices are right next to each other, and she's doing on conference calls today. So the primary shack's an FTDX-10 with an ACOM 1000. We run a hex beam at 45 feet, and we run a PR-7081 on that. And the station here, we're currently on the IC-7300. We're tapped into the hex beam as well, and then the amplifier down here is an old Tentec Hercules 2 solid state, which is about 500 on peaks, and then the mic is a Heil ICM. So they seem to be a good match between the rig and the microphone. Go ahead.
apologize. So if I pause for a second, that's why. But we're in the heart of the city right now, about to head into the Callahan Tunnel and right by the old Boston Gardens, or what the hell they call it now.
Yeah, and I'm still able to copy you. You said you're going through a bridge. I mean, the signal's down to about 5 and 8, but the audio is still really piercing, so no problems at all. So let me ask you this. Do you have to do some additional grounding on the antenna to make it work that well? I've heard people do that with grounding straps and so forth. How do you have your setup? Go ahead.
Everything is grounded everywhere, over.
You know, and maybe that's what my downfall was. I mean, I did a grounding strap onto the frame. It was on my pickup truck. And like I said, it was not very successful. And I thought, well, there's probably other things I could be doing with my time. So we pulled the equipment out of the vehicle and had to go back. Now, we do quite a bit of portable work when the weather gets better. That's not a problem. But, boy, the mobile station setup, I've just not had any luck. And I've talked to several mobiles the last several days, and you guys sound terrific. That's why I'm wondering what the secret is, Roger.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, I got to cut it short here. I got a phone call coming in, but real pleasure working in 73s and all the best from Boston, from Norway 1N1DRS.
Okay, David, appreciate it. Go ahead and do your thing, my friend. Thanks for stopping in. November 1, Delta Radio Sierra, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 73's QRZ.
Hotel Alpha 3, Hotel America.
Is it Hotel Papa 3?
Hotel America 3, Hotel America from Hungary, Honolulu, America 3, Honolulu, America.
Okay, Laszlo, got you. Hotel Alpha 3, Hotel Alpha. Is that a Roger?
Correct, okay.
Yeah, somebody just tuned up. Come back again.
Happy to meet you. You are 5 by 9 in Hungary. 5 by 9 in Hungry. The name is London Echo Sierra. How copy?
Okay, Laszlo. Yeah, I've got you at 5 and 8. You're 5 and 8 into Missouri, Mike Oscar. And very much. Thank you for giving us a call. I would not have guessed that Europe would be open. But we do appreciate you giving us a call, and I'm really surprised that you're able to copy me. We were not really pointed your direction, but we moved the beam a little bit, so hopefully you'll come up in my receive, and I'll come up in yours there. Go ahead.
Yeah, good copy, everything. Fine copy. Open the band, and you are very strong guy. I am 15 minutes ago I stayed here, and your partner also very strong, and you are a very excellent copy. No problem. Thank you very much for the contact. Have a nice day. Good luck with you. Very Easter holiday, and I hope to see you again in the future. Back to my friend, HA3 Honolulu, America. Over.
Okay, Les. Yeah, sounds great. Thank you very much. And I have I guess it would be evening for you now. Probably getting close. I would guess there's probably a 6 or 7 hour time frame, so you're probably getting around 9 or 10 p.m. I would guess it would be pretty close, but very nice to work you. Thank you very much for the contact. I'd have to go look back, but I'm not sure if I even have a contact in Hungary. I know it's our first contact, so thank you very much for that, and look forward to working you again, and hopefully on another band. You take care, you be safe and be well, 73s, and have a great weekend coming up as well. Hotel Alpha 3, Hotel Alpha, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 73s.
Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey, Hotel Alpha 3, Hotel Alpha. Happy to meet you, my friend. All the best, and I hope to see you again in the future. The population is up and down, moving very heavy to the Bravo, but no problem. Anyway, you are a very excellent, strong station. Moving signal coming in Hungary, 5-7 to 5 and 9 between. Happy to meet you. Good luck, good years. All the best to you and your family. Hotel America 3, Hotel America. See you soon, and happy Easter holiday.
Okay, Les, take care. 73s, my friend. Enjoy. K0RWB, Randy in Kansas City, QRZ, any station, anywhere.
Kilo Delta 1, Kilo Tango.
Kilo Delta 1, Delta Tango. Good afternoon, Steve. How are you doing?
Kilo Delta 1, Kilo Tango, Echo Alpha 7.
Kilo Delta 1, Delta Tango. Are you still there? Go ahead. We'll try one more time. Kilo Delta 1, Delta Kilo. Are you there? Well, maybe we'll try it again later. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy in Kansas City, QRZ, any station, anywhere.
Okay, Echo Alpha 7.
Negativo.
The frequency is occupied, please. We'll clear. K0RWB in Kansas City, QRZ. CQ 20 meters, CQ 20 meters, CQ 20 meters, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, calling CQ 20 meters, CQ 20, CQ 20, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, CQ, calling CQ, QRZ.
November K0RWB from Whiskey Alpha 1, Whiskey Radio Sierra.
Whiskey Alpha 1, Whiskey Alpha Sierra, is that a Roger?
Whiskey Romeo Sierra.
My apologies, let me get it typed in there correctly and see what comes up. Ken, how are you doing this afternoon?
Pretty good. You've got a fine signal here in Maine, and just starting to clear up here after some rain. So I guess you must have pulled me up on your computer there. So anyway, beautiful signal, 5.9 plus here in Maine, and I'm just running barefoot, a Kenwood 590 SG into a Cushcraft MH6B. So I wonder how you copy K0RWB WA1WRS.
No, Ken, no problem at all, especially barefoot. I just glanced out the meter, 5.9 plus 10, so I'd say it's working quite well. Had no problems hearing you at all, and nice audio to go with it there. Go ahead.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Randy. Yeah, I just pulled you up here, see where you are out in Missouri. Well, very good, and wonder how the weather is out there. Let's see, the temperature here is just touching 50 degrees. The sun has just poked through after, we had over an inch of rain last night and most of the day today. And so it's turning out to be a nice little evening here. Maybe I'll even get out for a walk. Who knows? Hi. I did have to take the XYL to a physical therapy appointment this morning, and I just got back from having some x-rays done, so it's kind of a busy day all around. She's a friend of hers took her to another doctor's appointment because we had conflicting schedules, so crazy day. And tomorrow I get to shuttle our grandson off to his first baseball practice of the season, seeing as today is opening day, so that's kind of nice. K0RWB from WA1WRS.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Well, yeah, it's nice to have things planned and different events and so forth. And I'd like to think that as each passing day we're getting a little bit back to what normal and what have you, and that's certainly part of it. We don't have the grandchildren yet, and I'm not in a hurry for it. Believe it or not. We have enough with our grown children and the associated pets that go with them. It seems to occupy our time, but we do find time here to play radio in the afternoons here on 20 meters. So we've moved down to Studio B, kind of out of the way from everything upstairs, and it is definitely quiet down here. Now, how long that'll last, I'm not sure, but currently we're really we're doing good there, Ken. So I'm not going to complain about what I get there, Roger.
Okay, Roger. Well, very good, very good. Yeah, I know. The kids will keep you busy without the grandkids, but we only have one daughter, and she's got three, and they only live a mile from us. So the oldest is about to enter college next year, and she's getting all her applications or acceptances back from the colleges. So she applied to quite a number of them. And so she's going to have to come to a decision here. I'm scrolling through your QRZ page. Nice fish, nice boat. I see you like to bike. I'm a bicycler myself. I've been looking at, actually, right now, I'm looking at Specialized has come out with a really nice carbon fiber electric assist bike. You know, I don't like these total electric bikes there. You just push a button, or you have a throttle. But the electric assist, where you have to pedal if you want the electrics to kick in, is kind of nice. I tried one out, and I'm getting to the age where I need a little bit of that assistance. And our boat is going in this year. We didn't put it in last year because things at the marina were getting, the logistics at the marina were just a little crazy. We take a launch out to the boat because we moor it, and they were only allowing, one person or one family per launch. And so we just thought, boy, just to get to the boat, it could be a 15-minute wait, and then when you get back on your mooring, you might have to wait for the launch. And I didn't want to keep a dinghy down at the dock. So, but anyway, I'm looking at your little fishing craft there. That's quite nice. And I have a 23-foot maritime Challenger with a 225 horse Evinrude G2 on it, and kind of to my chagrin, Evinrude, Bombardier, who owns Evinrude, announced last year that they are no longer making outboard motors, and so there you go. But I guess they are going to honor the warranty, and still will be able to get parts through them if you need them. But if I ever go to another boat, I guess I might have to consider another engine. But I love the G2s, the Evinrudes. They were still a two-stroke, so they had plenty of torque. They were great out of the hole, and they actually burned less than the four-strokes, and they burned cleaner than the four-strokes. Maybe not quite as quiet at idle as the four-strokes, but once you get up to 1,800, 2,000 RPMs, they're just as noisy as any other outboard. K0RWB, WA1WRS.
Yeah, we certainly understand that, and we've heard the same thing about the issues with Evinrude. Hopefully you won't have an issue with repairs and parts and so forth. We did hear about that last fall. It's unfortunate. I know a lot of dealers got caught holding the bag, so to speak, as well. I would think it probably devalued the boats there for a short term until they were able to get logistics and servicing squared away. So hopefully you won't have any issues with that. Nobody likes to have issues with their boats, and we hope that doesn't happen as well. So ours is in the shop, but it's just for preventive measures and so forth. But yeah, like I said, it seems as though the North New England states today has just been really crazy. I wasn't sure what the ban was like, but it seems to be holding really, really well. You're sounding terrific. So the equipment and the antenna, the whole combination is doing quite well. Haven't faded at all, which is really nice. And I appreciate you looking at the page there. We've got a link there. We're doing a live stream as well, Ken. If you're interested in listening to yourself on the air on the playback, you could go to the link. And basically, well, today you'd probably want to fast forward to about 1 hour 5, give or take, or there. It's just something that's kind of interesting. It's fun, and we don't have much often a chance to hear ourselves on the air. So it's something we started doing weeks ago, and having a great time for it there, Roger.
Brought up the live link there. I'll be able to hear my own audio. That's great. Well, looks like you're having a lot of fun. I've got back into ham radio about a year and a half ago after a 20-plus year hiatus, and brought a lot of stuff up from the basement to see if it still worked. I mean, I had an old my rig was a Kenwood 520 Sugar, and so that's what I had been using, and I brought that up and put it on the desk and kind of hooked up a long wire just to see if it still worked, and sure enough it fired right up, and I transmitted out to some old friends, locals here on the 75 meter band, and it was amazing. I did get that Kenwood 520 completely restored. I've got some new old stock finals for it here, and there was a guy in Arizona who worked exclusively on those radios, and put in some new high voltage cap, that sort of thing. And it was kind of interesting because in the process of going through it, he found a wire on the band switch that was just kind of wrapped around the solder lug and wasn't even soldered, so they missed it in the factory, and a few other things. But believe it or not, it's still in the box. I got it back from him almost a year ago. It's still in the box. I haven't had time to take it out, and I'm going to move everything down in the basement here. I retired about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I just kind of brought everything up to my office. So everything's getting a little crowded here and full of radio stuff. And I got a little corner in the basement downstairs that I've got to set up, and I did some special wiring and brought in a 220 volt line over there too, because I've got an old NCL 2000 national amplifier down there that I want to see if that thing still works. That probably might need some new caps, new electrolytics in it. I don't know. But anyway, there you go. I'm going to sign with you. I got to try and get a hold of. I was in the tax business for a long time. Prior to that, I was in engineering and semiconductors, and I changed careers and went in did some accounting, and then had my own tax practice here. So I've got just 2 or 3 clients that I've got to kind of button up here, and one I've been trying to get a hold of, and elderly folks who just can't find someone else during this COVID time to go to, and they can't get out. And I said, okay, I'll do your return. So that's the story here. But I'm going to say 7-3 and get back to doing what I was doing. I just thought I'd turn the radio on. It's been off for the past 3 days, and see what was out there. And boy, you've got beautiful signal. I'm assuming you're on your hex beam there. And so anyway, nice to make your acquaintance, Randy, and thank you very much for the QSO. Hey, good luck fishing this summer. I hope you'll get out. And I hope to catch a few stripers out in Casco Bay here this summer as well. See what's out there. Occasionally I go out and throw a line to the bottom and haul up some haddock, but there isn't there isn't too much sport in that, bottom fishing. K0RWB, thanks very much. 73WA1WRS, clear on your final.
Okay, Ken, thanks again for giving us a call, and enjoyed the conversation. Yeah, thanks for checking out the page, and the live stream is kind of a fun deal. We're also, and it's on the QRZ page as well, we also do a weekly a gift card giveaway from an amateur radio store here in the Kansas City Metro. If you're interested in qualifying, signing up, whatever you want to call it, you can go to the chat or the comments on YouTube and just put in your call and then put in the K0RWB. That's kidney for Papa Phil. He's a ham in Michigan that's needing a kidney, so we've been trying to get the awareness out, and hopefully some people will get tested so we can find a match for him. So anyway, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoyed it very, very much, and look forward to the next one. I'm sure we'll have many more QSOs to come. We're generally out here 2 o'clock Central for a few hours or until the band dies, or a combination of both. And then on Fridays, we try to work on 40 meters, and if that doesn't work, we'll come back up here on 20. But thank you again. Enjoyed it, and you be safe and be well. Have a great weekend coming up. Look forward to working you again. Whiskey Alpha 1, Whiskey Radio Sierra, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 7-3.
7-3, Randy. Stay safe.
Roger. K0RWB will clear QRZ. Any stations anywhere?
November 4, Tango Delta Papa.
November 4, Tango Delta Papa. Troy, how you doing this afternoon?
Good, very good. Just got done working for the day, and was sitting here listening for a bit. Thought I'd give you a shout, let you know everything's sounding good. There's a little noise from a little up frequency a bit, but nothing that's hurting too bad.
Yeah, and I brought the beam down your direction as well, and you definitely came up in my receive, so hopefully that'll work for you as well. And yeah, you got to be careful about that 4-letter word. For us retired guys, it kind of gives me nightmares there, Roger.
It gives me nightmares too, because I'm still doing it. I hear you. Yeah, so I did go out and got a tuner that's working on 75 meters. I was having issues using this 66-foot end-fed antenna to try to get on 75, and the tuner in the radio wasn't quite getting it done. I tried an external auto tuner, and it didn't quite get the job done, so I got a manual tuner, and of course that I could make it happen. So I'm pleased about making that happen again. I don't mind. I enjoy that band at night and in the morning, at times, I should say. Anyway.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad it's working out for you. I've got no problem hearing you today. That's there's I think there's somebody up at 277 or something like that. And that's okay. It is what it is. Nobody owns the frequencies, and we'll work around it. But yeah, very nice to hear you. I think we've been here for a little over an hour. I think that's probably the first contact in Florida. We've been up the New England states, the upper eastern seaboard. So I'm glad to see that the band is open from top to bottom there. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was quiet earlier, but it's definitely livened up a bit here this afternoon. Around noon, 1 o'clock, it was pretty quiet. Or everybody was eating lunch. That could be too. And 4 TDP.
Yeah, that would be my guess. You know what? I just don't know. Every time I think I could figure this stuff out, I'm totally wrong. And I've got to the point where whatever the conditions are, I'll work it the best I can. And hopefully, everybody, it's so much easier now with these radios, these SDR radios with the waterfall. I never thought that was that big of a deal until you have one. And I'm constantly looking down at it, and you get rather mesmerized at it. And it's so much easier now to find an open spot than before. When it's still good to listen, and then call is at frequency and so forth. But apparently that doesn't work for everybody. But again, different parts of the country, different parts of the day, they may not be able to hear you when you and I talk, or they may not be able to hear me when you're talking. So yeah, we kind of work for it. But I'm glad to see the band is open. It's a great day. The sun is shining. It's not extremely warm. and it's not really cold. So, and we've got people who just got off that 4-letter thing who are making contacts there. Go ahead.
Yes, absolutely. Matter of fact, it's cooling off down here. It's 70 degrees over here on the east coast of Florida. But yeah, the waterfall. You mentioned the waterfall, and on this radio at work, I can keep the volume turned down and just glance over every once in a while just to see if there's action, and that's so much more convenient than having to stop what you're doing, grab the dial, and spin. It's nice just to look over there and see that there's action. That's for sure.
Yeah, it really has changed a lot for me. I'm on the 7300 today, which I haven't been for a while, so I'm trying to get reacclimated to it. A different waterfall than I have on the FTDX10, but still, what I'm showing is a lot of activity, and it's kind of spread out. It's not really sitting on top of each other. And in years past, and I'm not knocking the older radios. I mean, they do work well. And there's also, you can get external SDRs and what have you with dongles and so forth. But you used to just kind of spin the band back and forth until you'd hear something. But now it does eliminate some of that. And like I said, the downside is you end up getting mesmerized by watching it. So I'm trying not to do that and look straight at the camera. But every once in a while, I do catch myself looking down a lot there, Roger.
Too funny. Yes. Nothing like the visual aspect of ham radio. I mean, we rely so much on the sound and our own entertainment. Now we've added the visual aspect to it. So just another step to make it more fun. That's my thought. So anyway, listen, I'm going to let you go. I know there will be others out there wanting to work you, so I will say 73 and certainly enjoyed it as always. And I appreciate what you do out there for sure.
No, thank you, Troy. And like I said, we've talked many times. Always nice to work you as well. And we started a new week. We did our drawing last night. We've got a couple more weeks yet with the gift certificates. So again, don't forget, if you're interested, being entered, qualify, whatever you want to put it, submit either from the live chat on the live stream, your call sign, and then K0RWB, or you can do it in the comments later on or something. But like I said, if free stuff is still free stuff. I mean, I could always use different things in the shack, and if not, that's fine. I know you'll be out there. Like I said, I always do enjoy talking with you. You always do sound good, and it makes it makes it a fun thing as well. So anyway, I won't be preaching no more. I didn't mean to do that anyhow. But thanks again, Troy, and I guess you've got one more day, and then you got the weekend. In the meantime, be safe and be well, and I hope you do have a good weekend. And I know we'll talk again. I look forward to it as well, and we'll see what happens then. We'll just kind of pick it up where we left off today. No problems at all. November 4 Tango Delta Papa Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo 7-3.
7-3, Randy. K0 Red, White, and Blue N4 TDP. Enjoy the day.
Okay, 7-3 Toy. K0RWB, Randy in Kansas City, QRZ, any station, anywhere.
Kilo Charlie 1, Hotel November Golf.
Kilo Charlie 1, Hotel November Golf. Michael, how are you doing today?
Doing very well. Wow, you're fast with the QRZ. I didn't even get your call sign. Yeah, my name is Mike. I'm calling from the Boston area. And I've got a dipole antenna with 1,000 watts behind it. And just taking a little break from work from home.
Yeah, 5 minutes. So I got you. I pulled the beam up your direction, so you came up a little bit in my receive there, so hopefully I'll come up in yours as well. I'm not sure what I hear, whether it's maybe driving a little bit too hard or it's clipping a little bit. You're not crystal clear. I don't know if maybe it's driving or you've got a little compression up or something, and you might look at that and see if maybe there's something there. I certainly don't mean any disrespect, but I've heard clearer. And I thought maybe you've got an adjustment off someplace here. Go ahead.
Yeah, reduced from 47 to 49 watts.
No, that actually made it terribly worse. It sounds like you've got a microphone outside the window driving down the road.
Change the microphone.
It's possible. I mean, again, if your connections are tight or what have you, it just, again, that was the best description I could come up with. It was the microphone outside the door on your car as you're going down the road. But, yeah, I can't really I really don't know what it could be. I heard you earlier in the beginning. That's why I was able to pull the call. But and I didn't mean for this to happen at all, Mike. My apologies for that. But, yeah, I'm not sure where it's at or what adjustment might be made. But we can certainly try it again.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I've adjusted the microphone gain from 50 down to 40 out of 100. Don't know if that will make any difference. Everything seems to be okay here.
Yeah, you know what? Try lowering it again because you're getting a little clearer.
Okay, that's with microphone gain at 35.
Well, now I'm starting to hear you. There's just a little bit of a wobble, so to speak, in the audio, but definitely getting better.
Oh, very good. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. I've been running it at 50 for a long time. Thanks. I appreciate the advice. I still don't have your call sign. What's your call sign?
Yeah, my apologies, Mike. I'm sorry about that. The call is Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo. In the QTH, we are 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. We're right off of the I-70 corridor in a little country town. And if I told you the town, you'd scratch your head and say, "What did he say?" So it's better just to say that we're east of Kansas City. Roger.
Okay, very good. East of Kansas City, got it. Yeah, you're at 5.6. I didn't hear a signal report back. Kansas City is a nice area, kind of flat.
It does have its moments, no doubt. You know, people always say, "Is home is where you hang your hat." This is kind of where we ended up from military service, and I guess there's worse places to be, but for now this works for us, of course. I've had you right at 5 and 9. That's a good signal report as well. You're 5 and 9. And also, I didn't know if I told you or not, but we're actually live on YouTube as well. So we're streaming right now. So you'd be a great candidate to come back and listen to your audio, Roger.
Oh, very good. Yeah, I could do that. Very neat. I'll look up your YouTube stream on QRZ and see what's going on with that. What's your name?
The name here is Randy, Romeo Alpha November Delta Yankee. And you can do it two ways, actually, Mike. You can either go to my QRZ page. I've got a link that goes to my YouTube channel, or you can go to YouTube and put in my call sign. And then, of course, you look for today's video. And I would probably fast forward to about the 1 hour 25 mark, and that would be pretty close to when you and I started, Roger.
All right, very good. That'll be interesting to watch. I can hear myself with my microphone adjustments. Very neat. Yeah, I'm an electrical engineer. I'm working from home this week. Next week I'll be in the lab, but I work in RFI, so I test signals for RFI performance. So I'll bombard a product with RF to see how it responds, and I'll listen to a product with an antenna to see how much it interferes. And also ESD and surge and other things that are related. But that's what I do, and it was a natural segue to join ham radio. So I've been enjoying that for about 3 years now.
Well, that is really interesting. How cool is that? And yeah, I would certainly guess that your line of work rolls over really well to amateur radio, especially if you're into building your own antennas and so forth. I think that's something that most operators deal with is RFI issues in the shack or elsewhere. Well, that's really interesting. I'm really glad we had a chance to talk. I mean, talk about something that is very relatable to real life work. That is very cool. Good for you.
Yeah, it's been useful. One time I bought a USB powered lamp for my rig,
because I wanted a nice little nightlight shining on my rig, but it was so noisy I couldn't use it. It was blocking HF signals. So I wrote to the manufacturer and told them what my experience was, and I included a citation from the FCC rules, and they sent me my money back right away, no questions asked, and told me I could keep the lamp.
Oh, that's too funny. Good for you. That's really great. Oh gosh. I mean, I've talked to a lot of operators over the years in different backgrounds and so forth, but I don't think I've ever talked with somebody like yourself that that is doing what you do and in a amateur radio operator at the same time. It's just, you've made my day. That's all I can say.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people that I've been working with. I've been doing it for 30 years, and I've met a lot of hams. And when I go to a conference, at the conference they actually have a special meeting room for hams, and there's like a special club within a club for the ham radio operators within the EMC Society. And so I got to know a lot of people who do it and how interested they are in it. And finally, the place where I'm working now had 5 hams in the department. And a new guy came along, and he got his license lickety-split, didn't have to study much for it, and got right into his general. And I thought, you know, if he could just walk in and get a general, surely I could get a technician's license. So I tried it, and I had to study the rules. But once I did, I got it, and then I studied the rules and got my general. And for the extra, I can't say I really studied much at all, because a lot of the things on the extra exam were principles of electrical engineering and finding RFI and so on that I was already familiar with. So, strange as it might be, I actually had the easiest time with the hardest test for the entry to extra class.
Now, why am I not surprised? I'm sure that when you started reading the extra questions, you were kind of like, "Are you kidding me?" I could certainly see that. Also, just so you know, your audio has gotten better. So whether you've made another adjustment or you've got the mic farther away from you, you're starting to get a lot more clear as well. Go ahead.
I think maybe I backed off of the mic a little bit. That's interesting. Thanks.
I have that same problem. My old setup was a Yaesu radio, and I ran an Audio Technica microphone, and you basically had to eat the mic. At least that's what always seemed to sound really well. And excuse me, these new radios I have, this is the ICM-7300, and the microphone, I'm a good 6 to 8 to 10 inches away from it. Otherwise, it would just really clip really bad and overdrive it. And I run 20% mic gain and 1% or 1 on compression, and it's still super sensitive. So I have to consciously keep myself back away from the microphone because it's really you can sneak up on it and not know it, and you wonder why you don't sound good, Roger.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I'll stay back away from the microphone a little bit. It's the microphone. I've got all Yaesu equipment, and it seems to work pretty well together. I've got the MD100 microphone from Yaesu. I've got the FT991A, which is a good starter rig. I don't know if I want to stay with this rig for very long. And I've got the Yaesu VL1000 amplifier.
Yeah, the 991A is a terrific radio. For HF 2-meter and 440, terrific. Great. It makes a great portable rig, a good rig in the mobile as well, which I have. I've had not any success in mobiles, but anyway, no, terrific rig. I had the Yaesu FT950, and then I've got the 7300, and I bought the new FTDX10, which is upstairs in my primary shack. This is what we call Studio 2. We're downstairs to stay away from the YL today, so she could do some conference calls. And I could get across to her. I could use your advice. I have RFI coming across her headset, so we decided to come downstairs, and we're able to tie into the beam, and we do have an extra rotor control down here, and then we run a Tentec Hercules amplifier, solid state, about 500 watts. So we're adequate enough, and we do seem to get out. So it works well for us, but we do like these new radios. the FTDX10 is a wonderful radio. I like having an external monitor feature that you can put up on a bigger display, and they're really good radios. And Yaesu they all make good products. Mike, or they still wouldn't be in business. So between Kenwood and ICOM and Yaesu, there's something for everybody. Roger?
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, my son gets a problem with his headset, and actually designed a headset at work that's immune to RFI, at least more immune, and got it so I was able to design it out to the point where he couldn't hear me he couldn't hear my ham radio anymore. But he prefers a different brand, and that's what he uses. And his friends complain that they can hear me on his speech channel. So he tries to avoid when I'm going to be on. I put ferrites on it, but I'm not going to go in and redesign the thing for him.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I bought a set of ferrites, and for my shack upstairs, I put the mic cord in a loop and put a ferrite on top of that, and I've got two ferrites as the cable goes into the radio. The coax going out, I've got a ferrite on it. Down here, I do the same thing. I've got two ferrites on the back of the coax that's going out of the amplifier. I don't have any issues down here, of course, but upstairs I do, because I can run 1.5 kilowatts upstairs and only 500 watts down here. They may have something to do with it, or maybe we've gotten the RFI resolved to a certain degree, but we do kind of talk on the loud side, and I didn't want to bother her today with that. So this is a great alternative. Roger?
Roger. Yeah, that's very good. Yeah, I'm looking to fix my print shredder. My shredder goes off. You can set it for off, or you can set it for automatic. And in the automatic mode, if you drop paper into it, it starts up and starts shredding the paper. The motor comes alive. And the way it is now, if I have it set to auto, when I transmit, the motor comes alive and makes lots of noise. It's turned off right now. My other RFI problem here has been a wireless charger for my phone. Even when it's not in use, it creates RFI on 2 meters. And a ferrite helps with that pretty well, took care of it. So that's what's going on here. I am looking for a new antenna. All I have right now is a dipole for all of HF. I'm not able to tune up on 10 meters, and my receive strength doesn't seem to be that well. Like, for example, I have 5.9 from you, so I'm transmitting okay, but I've got I'm receiving you at a 5.6, so I'm missing a couple of S points in the receive path, I think.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Like I said, you've been pretty solid in my receive. There's a little bit of noise on the band, but other than that, have not had a problem copying you, and which is a good thing. I think the band is rather noisy today. At least it has been in most circumstances. A lot more contacts I've had today up in your part of the country than I have central part of the coast, or even down in Florida. So I'm not sure where it's at. But again, these are little issues that we always seem to deal with, and you probably know this as well. The ham radio community, we're a reliant bunch. I mean, if there's a way to overcome things, there are operators out there that will figure out a way to do that, which is a pretty cool deal. And everybody seems to be really good about sharing the information, so that's also pretty cool. Roger?
That is very helpful. I've got 4 clubs to choose from around here, probably more. I'm a member of 3 of them. And they have good lectures on how to build antennas and how to operate FT8 and how to overcome things, like you say, and they're very helpful. Even if I get on the air, I can ask people, what do I do about this, what do I do about that, and I get some very helpful replies. Especially with selecting my next antenna. I've been reading the antenna book series from ARRL, and I'm just getting into the section about antenna arrays, which is good. And I've been wanting to get a better antenna than this dipole, so
I was looking at the STEP IR, so those are large and heavy, and I would need to install a tower. And I'm thinking maybe with a hex beam, I can get away with just mounting it to the house. And so I'm looking at that. People have been very helpful with that too. Back to you.
Yeah, KC1H November Golf, K0RWB. Yeah, you know, I went through the same process, and I talked to a lot of operators actually in your part of the world as well. They sounded really good, and they had strong signals, and they were all running hex beams. So I bought mine in January of 2012, and I bring it down once a year from a tilt-over base just for periodic inspections. And it goes right back up again. I've had ice storms, I've had extreme weather, wind storms, and it just it's very resilient antenna. It's a 2-element Yagi, and I still think if you're able to direct your signal, it does change your outlook on amateur radio. Because my situation here, I've not had an instance if I can hear somebody and I've not been able to work them. I set at 45 feet from the base plate to the ground. Initially, I had it on a push-up pole about 25 feet in the air with a TV rotor, because it's not much of a wind load and doesn't weigh but about 22, 23 pounds. And then I came across a tower relatively cheap at a farm auction, and that's what I'm using. But I would have had no problems leaving it up on the side of my chimney on a push-up pole. So again, there's antennas for every application, and there's a price point with them. Again, here's a good one for you, Mike. If you can find an antenna that will operate 6 through 20 for under $1,000, go buy it. But you're not going to find it other than a hex beam.
Yeah, I found a hex beam at HRO made by MFJ for $500. I thought that looked pretty good, and I don't see where buying a $1,000 hex beam is going to get you a better antenna. Maybe it'll last longer as far as corrosion goes or something, but I didn't see anything performance-wise. So I was going to go with the MFJ and bolt it to the side of my house. I haven't figured out the rotor part yet, so I'm going to have to make a trip to HRO or do some more catalog shopping to figure out. Maybe I'd have to put the rotor up on the pole and have a pole-to-pole interface with the rotor. I don't really know how that works.
Well, Michael, here's what I would do, and something that would help you. Of course, you know, again, especially in your line of work, but just in general, the more information you have, the better decision you tend to make. Go Google NA4RR. His name is Roger Rockwell out of Pensacola, Florida. I get nothing from this. That's just the antenna that I have. And Roger will ship to your door for $600. I bought mine in 2012, and it was $500 shipped to my door. But he has all replacement parts. He has the 40-meter extension if you want to go 40 meters with the hex beam. At least look at his website, look at some of the information he has. I talked to him on several occasions before I even purchased, and you would have thought I was the only guy around in the world, because we probably talked 20, 25 minutes each time. But at least give it a look and see for yourself so you've got something to compare it to there, Roger.
I'll do that. Thank you. That sounds like a great suggestion. And maybe he can tell me how to put a rotator on it and figure all that type of stuff out.
Well, I mean, there's several different ways. You know, for the rotor, the easiest way, if you're going to start off with like a mini tower on the eave of your roof, or you're going to have a little push-up pole that's mounted to the side of your house or off your chimney. Again, you can get by with a relatively light-duty rotor that you would attach to it, and then you could get a small mast that would go placed on top of the rotor itself, and then that would hook into the base plate of the antenna. And you could certainly operate that way. I did that for many, many years. And then I went to these Hamfest and auctions, and I came across the equipment that I have today, and it works. My rotor is way overkill. It's a Ham 2 rotor designed for a big antenna, but it works for this, you know, all day long, and doesn't hurt it what's a bit. So there are ways to get it in the air without spending a whole lot of money at the same time. Roger?
Yeah, very good. Very good.
I'm into that. I've seen a couple of ways to do it, like if you put it on the ground and guy it, and you have to have slip rings for the guys and stuff. So I don't know exactly how it would go, but I think I have room for it. I think I can handle the weight capacity. I just haven't figured out the rotator. So very good. I will talk to NA4RR about it and see what he can sell me.
Yeah, his name is Roger Rockwell. He's out of Pensacola, Florida. And, you know, if you tell him what your conditions are, what you have there, he could probably give you some suggestions on how to mount it, whether it would require any guys or what kind of a system you need to get it in the air and what have you. And I'll tell you how well it works real quick, Michael. I was so excited when mine showed up. I had it on my back patio, and I used my patio table, and I had a 4-foot pipe that I put in the center of my table where you have your umbrella for the summertime. I put the antenna together. I was so excited. I wanted to get on the air. I hooked some coax up to it with my radio. I called CQ, and my first contact was the UK, and it was 4 foot off the ground. So that's to tell you how well it works, Roger.
That's an awesome story. That's great. Yeah, I had some struggles putting up my dipole. My dipole is 50 feet high, but when it was 20 feet high, it wasn't doing anything. I've got, I don't know, it works okay on 20. I got, the dipole I'm using, if you don't mind listening about that, is it's a Cobra ultralight dipole, and it does pretty well in dry conditions. It's got 3 wires in each element, and they're connected in series so that the signal goes out to the end, folds back and comes back to the feed point, and then folds back again and runs back out to the end in a serpentine fashion. And I think that's how it got the snake name, Cobra. And it does very well in dry conditions. It's only 73 feet long, and it tunes 80 meters just fine. So it's good for that. But if it's wet or icy, it's difficult to use. It doesn't tune the same.
Yeah, no, I certainly understand that. And altitude is your friend. Hex beams don't require a great deal of altitude. You can do quite well at about 20 feet. You know, a little bit higher. Mine is, I was told, between 30 and 55 feet. Well, that's why I'm at 45 feet. So you can go either way. But anyway, I mean, we can do all kinds of different things. Again, if there's a will, there's a way. I don't like to do the cheap route. I like to do the cost-effective route. And you know that can change later on. The idea is to get it in the air. Again, I guarantee you it'll change your entire station because you've got a terrific radio. The 991A is a terrific radio, but as soon as you're able to direct your signal, it's going to change everything in your station from that point forward. So just be aware of that. Again, I sound like a salesman. That's not my intention, but I'm just tickled, and I would not give mine up for anything. But listen, we could talk forever today, but I want to see if there's a few more contacts. I've got a few more minutes before I have to shut it down. If you do have some other questions, send me an email. I'm good in QRZ. I'd be happy to talk with you later on. And any questions you may have, I'd be happy to try to answer for you. Everybody did it for me when I was out searching, and I have no problems paying it forward as well. So in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much for coming back to the call, and I hope we'll have a good what's left of the day, a good weekend coming up. So in the meantime, be safe and be well, and I'm sure we'll talk again. So I'll say 7-3s for now. Kilo Charlie 1. Hotel November Golf, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 7-3s.
All right, Randy. Thank you very much. 73. K0RWB. This is KC1HNG. I'll be clear, and many thanks. 73.
You bet. Thanks again. This is Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, rating Kansas City, QRZ. Any stations anywhere?
Alpha 1 Italy Alpha Daytona Beach.
Well, I hear some noise out there. Is that Lurch? Is that you, Lurch? Go ahead.
You rang.
I told you I had to get you back somehow. I had a feeling you were lurking around someplace. How you doing, brother?
Hey, my friend. What's happening today? 0 K0RWB. This is AA1IA Daytona Beach.
Yeah, from Daytona Beach. Second contact today out of Florida. Maybe I'm just, my timing is off. Usually you guys, I get a dozen or so contacts in Florida, but I think you're the second or third. And so, hey, listen, do I sound a little different today?
Today. So they're out there looking out my window, admiring my work as I partially listen to the YouTube broadcast, and I've been sitting in here listening to all the stations out here. I especially paid attention to the mobile out there in Boston because he was out there on a part of the Boston roads that I made my living on. I can't tell you that strip of road how many times I was on that one particular spot of road that I made my living on so many times. Going out by the Museum of Science there and in and out of the Callahan, and oh God, makes me nervous just thinking about it. How you doing today, my friend? This is AA1IA Daytona Beach.
Yeah, doing good, Mark. Things are a little different. Of course, it's April 1st today, so we changed things up a little bit. We're in Studio B today, as my friend Todd called it last week or whatever. So the wife had some conference calls upstairs. We didn't want to interfere, so we did a quick reboot, and so we're down here in Studio B on the 7300 at the Yaesu, and different mic and amplifier, but we did get another control box, so we're able to move the beam down your direction there, Roger.
Yeah, man, no problem at all. 5 and 9 plus 10 from Studio B, from 1,000 miles away, broadcasting live and direct to Daytona Beach, Florida, man. You're rattling my windows, as they say in the chicken band, man. You're sounding good, no problem at all. And the audio is good. The audio is really good also, so that station sings, no problem at all. I'm just hanging out. The weather is absolutely gorgeous. I won't keep you today, and I was really glad to hook up with you, Randy. We'll let you make a couple of more calls. I got to get out there and start rattling some pots and pans. I got some chicken thighs ready to go in, and we're gonna make up some kind of exotic vegetables or something, and have it fill up the whole house full of pleasant aroma, because Mark is out there rattling. So 7-3, my friend, we'll catch up with you soon. It was a pleasure to hook up with you today, and we'll talk at you soon. K0RWB 7-3, my friend. God bless. AA1IA Daytona Beach.
Okay, Mark, sounds good. Yeah, I was really hoping to send you an email last night, but the random selector was random and it was selected, but unfortunately. But hey, there's another week. You know, you can always put in for it again. Again, I just hit the button, sit back, and whatever happens, happens. But you know, a lot of others didn't either. You want to pull for everybody, but I leave it out of my control and let the computer do it. But no worries, and yeah, it's never failed. As soon as you get in, you run off again. So that's okay. I'm used to it. I get that at home here with the wife, so no big deal. Always a pleasure, and yeah, we've got different logging software. I wouldn't say logging software, but display software. My good friend Armando up north of you helped me get this up. This is the remote software for the 7300, even though we're in studio, but it can be run remote. So we wanted to try that out today. So another good reason for being down here. So we don't run quite the same power, about half of what we can run upstairs, but it's working for us today. So no problem. 7-3s, enjoy the rest of your day. You be safe and be well. We will talk again, and have a wonderful weekend. Alpha Alpha 1 India Alpha, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo.
7-3s, Randy. We'll chat next time. I guarantee it, my friend.
Okay, Mark, 7-3s. We've got time for a couple more calls. Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo, QRZ, any stations, anywhere.
November 4, Hotel Echo Sierra.
November 4, Hotel Echo Sierra. Boy, there's a big signal. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Randy. This is about our third time, I think. I'm here in Lakeland, Florida, and you're coming over here like 10 over.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'll look at the meter next time around, but yeah, you're booming in there as well. So I guess the band is doing good from New England states all the way down to east side of Tampa. Go ahead.
Well, QSL. Well, sounds good here. I didn't get a chance to hear you on your 10, but your 7300 still sounding good.
You know, I am happy with it. When I picked up the radio in the end of January, when I traded in my Yaesu FT950, I told Dan, he's the operator at the store here locally. I said, "Well, what do you think about a microphone match?" And he said he had a young man who came in a little bit earlier. His dad was a silent key and brought in some used equipment. He says it's got this microphone that was also from an ICOM. He says, "Why don't you try that?" And I said, "Okay, great." So it's the Heil ICM. And boy, it really seemed to match up really well. But this was in the shack for about 5 weeks until the FTDX10 showed up. And so this is, as my friend Todd, this is Studio B. We were downstairs at a different location. But yeah, it's working for us, and it sounds good in my headphones. And I think it sounds good on the air as well. Roger?
Oh, yeah, it sounds good to me. I have an ICM. I don't have it on right now. I have the 781. But I've got both, and I kind of flip back and forth between the two.
You know, I don't have the extra cabling that I could put the 781 on this rig. I thought once about doing that, but boy, I've started changing stuff around way too much. I may not be able to get it put back, so I'm trying to leave that shack intact as much as possible. And of course, I'm certainly not trying to boast. I'm just trying to stay out of the way of the wife when she does conference calls while she's still working from home. So this is the only way I can think of about being on the air out of her way. She doesn't have to listen to me. So I'm certainly fortunate that I can run this where I'm at, and it's always nice to have redundant systems. So yeah, it sounds good to me. It seems to work really well. And I don't know, maybe there's a difference between 500 and 1,000 watts, but maybe not enough that people would notice, sir. Roger?
No, okay, well, you're still coming in here really good, so I'm not having a problem at all. I'm just running 100 watts with a 7300 with the 781 mic on it, and hopefully it sounds all right.
Oh, gosh, yeah, it's 5.9 plus 10, so we've got a great little pipeline. Well, I mean, I can't remember. It escapes me. But you're not running the directional antenna, are you?
Yeah, I'm on a beam. It's a TH3 Junior. It's pretty much headed your way. And I've been thinking about getting an X-beam, but I haven't done it yet. I don't know how much more or less it would help, but the extra bands would probably be nice.
Well, I was just going to mention that, and as soon as you said that, I go, yeah, I remember that now. And I guess as you get older, memory starts to fade. You know, that was the other consideration for me was Lee was they have the extra bands. You know, I've yet to make a contact on 6 meters, but it's there, and I have 10, you know, 12, 15, 17, and 20, and that's where I do most of my work. And I thought once about getting the 40-meter add-on kit, which they just now came out with. I'm still contemplating, but yeah, again. Nothing against the other antennas, but this is pretty flexible, and it always seems to work well for me.
Well, okay. Well, I heard you talking to a gentleman earlier, and you gave a call letters of someone that does the X-beam that you have, and I didn't catch it, so I kind of wanted to jump in here and find out what that call letter was.
Yeah, it's November Alpha 4 Romeo Romeo, NA4RR. His name is Roger Rockwell. He's in Pensacola. And I bought mine January of 2012 from him after about 2 conversations of 20 to 25 minutes. So he was able to answer my questions. Again, I get nothing from this. There's no, you know, I'm not sponsored by him or anything else. It works for me, and it totally changed my outlook on amateur radio. I think and you know this, you've got a beam, but anytime you can direct your signal, it really changes the station. And he has all the replacement parts. So if there's any issue with spreaders or the base plate or the wire for the different bands, it was all right there. And super nice guy to talk with on the phone. And I told the gentleman earlier, was up in Massachusetts, I said, just go to his website, NA4RR website, and take a look for yourself. When I bought mine with the ferrites, it was $500 shipped to my door, and I think now he's only around $600. So that's not a bad price.
Oh, no, not at all. And, I was interested in the 40 especially. I've got a vertical for 40. I don't have that on my beam. The beam just has the 10, 15, and 20. But I was really interested in the 40.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I may do something with it. I would really like to be able to direct my signal on 40. I mean, I'm just running a dipole off the side of the tower at about 38 foot, and it does pretty good. I used to say that with a wire on 20 meters until I had a hex beam, and then it changes again. So, excuse me, I thought about that as well. I'm gonna probably come back around and look at it again, but I'd like to talk to somebody who's got the add-on kit and really see how much difference it's made.
Okay, well, we'll keep an ear out if somebody comes up with it. We'll take a look at the site and go from there. But, the TH3 Junior, he's about 10 years old now. It's on a 50-foot tower, and I'm going to have to do something pretty soon.
Yeah, now does that have chokes on it as well?
Negative, just the traps.
Okay, it's got the traps on it. Okay, yeah. Well, it has a small footprint. I think that's one of a big consideration as well. So a less wind load, especially in your part of the world, probably makes a whole lot of sense. Especially with mine here. And of course, you don't have ice, but I've had several ice storms it's gone through because I made my own ice cords for a little stability. And we've had wind storms. Just even just recently, last week we had some wind gusts of over 70, and it just flops around like an upside down umbrella, and it just continues to work. So again, trying to get it in the air is a big key. Roger said, optimum was 30 to 55 feet, so I'm at 45. So I think I've got it dialed in, and it's always worked for me, and I can always tell when I turn the beam around that people will come up 2 and 3S units, so I know it's doing its job.
Well, it's sounding good, so I don't think you have a problem whatsoever. Like I said, I've been considering it, and, there's a lot of them out there now, but I still haven't decided what to do, and this one's still working, so it's one of those things, when it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Very true. So is it a 3-band beam?
Yeah, it's a 3-band beam. The only drawback I have, it will only handle 600 watts.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm surprised I've not heard of that. Well, that's another thing I liked about this one was its full legal limit. And now they say you can use it on 40, but they recommend less than 50 watts. And I go, well, that doesn't really make any sense. First off, I don't want to make the antenna worse than what it is, and I don't need to get on 40 meters that bad that I couldn't use my dipole. So I don't want to blow it up either. So again, I'm like you. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'll figure out something else there, Ryder.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't know that either. So, but we'll look into it and see what we got. But I have a vertical. I have a Hustler 6BTV for the 40 meter, and it can handle the whole 1500 if you want to. But the amplifier I have is an 811H, which will get up around 900. And so I don't want to blow up my little TH3 Junior.
No, I wouldn't either. That wouldn't be good. I was concerned about that initially when I bought the hex beam. That's one of the questions I had for Roger, and he said, no, it'll handle the legal limit. You don't have any trouble there, and so forth. And I didn't have an amplifier that did it. I had an 811, then I had an 811H. I had to get rid of tube amps because I would always forget to change the band and retune, so I ended up going through I don't know how many sets of tubes. So then I got rid of those, and I found this amplifier, which is the Ten-Tech Hercules. It's a solid state, and I used it for many years. So I'm using it now. I just kind of put it on the back shelf when I got my ACOM, and even the ACOM does 1200. So we're not even close to really hurting the antenna. And you know, for I think it's around 4.8 or 5 dB gain on the antenna, and you know that's not great compared to some other antennas, but for what this thing is, I think it every little bit helps. Roger.
Oh yeah. And it looks like the band may be changing. I'm starting to lose you a little bit. You're down to about a 5.9. Oh, woohoo. You're 5.9. But it has dropped off some. So I'll let you go. I just heard you in there. I wanted to jump in and say hello and see how you were doing. And I knew you had got a new Yaesu. So didn't know tonight whether you're going to have it on or not. But you still sound good. So that's the main part. But I'll let you go, and we'll catch you again.
I appreciate it very much. Yeah, tomorrow we'll be back up at the main shack, Studio A, as I've been told here on the live chat. So, well, hopefully you'll get a chance to hear it. Would like to get a chance to work again as well. I'm trying to look here. It looks like the last one it can't be right. I saw January. Surely that's not right. I need to check my logger again, but no, always a pleasure. And you sound terrific as well. Yeah, I know the band's doing a little craziness. Maybe it's that time of day, and I've got a couple more minutes anyway, but I'm glad we got in today and got a little short QSO, and I have no doubt that we will definitely be working again. So, hey, thanks again, 7-3s. You be safe and be well. Have a good weekend coming up, and I know we'll work again. November 4 Hotel Echo Sierra, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 7-3s.
All righty, Randy, 73s. And, yeah, I've got February 26th, I believe it is, or 28th. The last time we worked. So we'll say 73s, and you take care, and we'll talk to you again.
Yeah, sounds good, 73s. I've got time for one more call, see if anybody else is out there. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy in Kansas City, QRZ.
Kilowatt
Bravo
Charlie 2,
Quebec
Echo Sierra.
Well, there's someone I haven't heard for years. God, where's that guy been? Kilo Charlie 2, Echo Sierra. Let me look at this up here real quick. It's Armando. Hey, how you doing there, Armando?
Hello, Randy. You're looking good. Your station B looks terrific, and you sound terrific here in New York. You're 5.9 plus 20, over.
Well, that's really nice considering I'm pointed toward Florida. So maybe if I bring it up, I'll go down in signal?
Yeah, don't change anything, because when you do, it could easily break things, over.
Yeah, right. Funny you should say that. Well, how about a 20 over signal? So that means you are on the 7300.
Okay, but we're going to change that now. Just give me a second here.
Okay, you know what? For you, anything, anytime, anywhere. You know how that works. Hey, nobody likes dead air, brother. You got to be hop on top of it here. I thought you had a toggle switch back there. What are you doing? Rerouting cable? My goodness, I've got listeners out there that don't want to hear any dead air.
Hang on, I'm here. I'm trying to get this thing to work. How are you copying me now? Over.
No, it works. It sounds great. Hey, thanks, Mark, for the software input. I've got Mark on the live chat. No, it sounds good. You're still 20 over, so you must be running what, QRP?
Yeah, I'm running 10 watts right now. 10 watts with my 4-element tri-bander, and I'm on the 847 now. Over.
I like the 847. Okay, great. Well, I'm on 49 watts.
It's beautiful signal here, over.
Why do we always have a pipeline? I have that with you, and I have that with Lee, and I've got it with Mark down in Daytona Beach as well. I don't know what it is. We've all got these pipelines.
Yeah. Hang on. I was kidding with you. So right now I'm running 500, but let me turn off the amp. Hang on. Now I'm running 50 watts. This is now 50 watts before, actually 35.7. 35.7, 35. I'm cranking it up. I'm going to bring it up to, there we go, 50 watts. That was 50 watts before it was 500, over.
Okay, 5.9 plus 10.
There you go. So, anyway, yeah, your station B is looking great, over.
Yeah, I went back to the larger screen, on the options menu, and then I just started to move that page around into the stream page, and did some creative coloring, I guess you would say, to move this around, make this bigger, and so yeah, it's fairly close. I'm enjoying it, and it's kind of nice to be down here. We've got the rotor controller here as well, so we're able to move the beam around. So it's not much different than being upstairs, other than what it looks like on the stream there, Roger.
Roger. All right, well, it looks good. We can talk later, because I can probably learn something from the way you got it set up now. So that's great. You move fast there, Randy, over.
Well, I had a good teacher. Matter of fact, you won't believe this. He called me last night, or I called him last night to see how things were going, and 5 hours later we hung up. And then this guy calls again this morning. So I don't know what it is, but it's like a magnet, you know. I guess I'm a magnet to some people, but no, I had all kinds of help. I'm not taking credit for any of this whatsoever, because if it was left up to me with the settings in the radio, I still wouldn't have it today.
Looking really good. Awesome. Very good. All right. Well, we'll connect later and or some other time. But you're sounding great. Are you using your gaming headphones and gaming your flight simulator headphones and virtual? I know you're not using your virtual reality headset, because I'm watching you on the YouTube delayed. So when you laugh, it's like what I said 3 minutes ago. But anyway, it sounds really good anyway, Randy.
Yeah, no, this is the headset I use upstairs in the other shack, just because they're a little bit more comfortable. And of course, the 7300 with the Heil ICM microphone, and this one's even more sensitive, so I'm having to constantly push myself away from it, because it'll drive it really, really hard. And again, just the old Tintec Hercules, and it's bouncing back and forth around 500 watts. And it's really not bad. It's quiet down here, and we're out of the way of the YL, so she can do her thing. And she usually logs off around 4 o'clock, and that's usually when I start getting taps and so forth. So that's why I are able to run for a couple of hours, and then when she locks off for the day, then that's when I get busy.
Okay, very good. So how do you still like the 7300 better than the 847 on this end, over?
I do, just because it seems like it has a little bit more fidelity. I mean, they both work great, and they're not that far away. Of course, you can listen to it later on the playback, but it just seems like the 7300 has a little bit more fidelity to it.
Okay, now I just turned off the processor on the 847. What effect did that have, over?
It's still bright. I mean, you have a lot of highs in it. It's still very bright. To me, it's a great sound for DX. It doesn't have a lot of low end, but I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But it's bright, and it's right there in front of you. And of course, the signal, as strong as it is, it's just like sitting right here. So, I mean, again, I don't hear a lot of fidelity, but maybe that's okay as well.
Yeah, probably the way I've got. Don't forget, I have this dynamic microphone from Yaesu that had all these buttons underneath that you can turn on, and low cut and high cut. And 22 years ago, I left them all in the off position. So that's where they've been. And if I turn it into the on position, then you will get no audio. So I don't know what happened to it. So that's the story on this end, Randy, over.
Roger. And remind me again, what's the microphone on the 7300s? Is it the stock mic?
Yeah, it's a stock mic, over.
Well, that's not a fair comparison. That's cheating a little bit. You need to find yourself a full fidelity mic for the 7300.
Yeah. All right. Well, in any case, at least I'm not. I don't know what happened the other day. I must have accidentally hit the VFO, because when I heard myself, oh my God, it sounded like I was Donald Duck there, over.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, and I had a QSO earlier with a gentleman up in Massachusetts. It was audible enough that I could pull the call, and then for the next go round or two, I mean, it was like putting the microphone outside your car window going down the highway. And then little by little, he started to come back again. He started turning the mic gain down a little bit. And this is the really cool part. He works his real job. He works in RFI, so he's working on how to reduce and eliminate RFI. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no wonder he's in ham radio.
There you go. Well, anything can happen. There could be a bad connection. There could be who knows? Who knows what went on? Okay, well, very good. I won't hold you. I know you want to work a couple more stations. I'll let you do that, and we'll connect sooner than later. But it's sounding good. Studio B is sounding really good there, Randy. Over.
Yeah, I am pretty happy with it. Again, if the rig had an external monitor feature on it, I wouldn't have the other radio. And of course you own one, so you know what it's about. You know what I'm talking about as well. I think they do sound really well. You can do little bit things here and there to maybe kind of enhance it somewhat, but they're pretty good out of the box. And that waterfall is mesmerizing. I got to keep my eyes away from it. So I got to keep looking up instead of down. Of course, you said yesterday you keep seeing me looking up because the monitor's so high. Well, this monitor's right in front of me. But I looked down to see the waterfall. But your last go-round was 20 over. So again, it doesn't seem to matter the time of day. You have a good signal as well. So we're going to try to one more before the YL actually knocks on the door down here to this location, and I think we'll probably be done for the day. But you're welcome to call anytime. You know that, and we can talk about whatever we need to. Probably maybe on the flight sim side, we'll see. But anyway, we can make that work. But I had a feeling at some point I'd hear you today.
Okay, very good. All right, you go take care and make another contact, and we'll talk soon. Nice to hear you again, Randy. Great sounding station again. Kilowatt 0, Romeo Whiskey Bravo, Kilo Charlie 2, Echo Echo Sierra.
Yeah, Armando, no problem at all. And matter of fact, the envelope went out in the mail this morning, so you should probably see that the first of next week. At least I hope so. If not, let me know. But I would anticipate probably Monday or Tuesday. So. No problem, brother. Good to talk to you again as well. And like before, look forward to the next one, either on the air or on the phone or email or whatever. You be safe and be well. Talk to you soon. KC2 Echo Echo Sierra, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Okay, one more time for a call. K0RWB, reigning Kansas City, QRZ.
CQ.
Yeah, go ahead there, CQ.
This is N1JWS/AG. I just wanted to pop in there and say I'm running a 7300 with a ICOM SM30 mic.
Well, very good, John. Thank you for giving us a call. /AG, well, congratulations.
Yeah, well, I got my ticket back in '94. I was a Tech Plus. And I let all those years go by before I got busy and upgraded.
That's a very common story that I've heard lately. I think it's a great one. And, a lot of people are getting back in the hobby from downtime. I'm the same way. I've been away for about 2.5 years. And got back around the 1st of November. And, the bands are doing pretty good. A lot of new operators out there as well, making some new contacts and catching up with some of the old ones over time. It's a terrific hobby, and we've got a really great community there, Roger.
Oh, I believe that. I just, I retired 20 years ago, and then I was busier after I retired than when I was working. But when I was working, just didn't have time for it. And one of my doctors said, "You got to get a hobby."
Yeah, well, you could certainly pick something worse, couldn't you? Especially with the last year or so. This is a terrific social distancing hobby. again, I've told people many times there's probably not a chance we would ever meet in person, but you become friends over the air, and which is a really cool thing. And it's a great hobby. It's a great community. The people that'll do anything for you at any time and so forth. And that's what's really attracted me to the hobby. And again, there's something for everybody, whether it's working on phone or digital modes or RTTY or CW. And there's also a price point for everybody. So I think that's what attracts a lot of people as well there, Roger.
Yeah, I believe it. I have a lot of friends that are DXs, and they were in it 25, 30 years ago. But in fact, I have one friend that can copy code faster than he can write it down. But I'm trying to get the code back. See how that goes.
Yeah, I tried that in the beginning when I first got licensed, and boy, that's just something I just could not pick up for anything. And I find myself with enough band work in the bands there is right now. I may revisit it again at some point, but I'm a general as well, and I have fun with the areas that I can work, and I have lots of contacts with those same people that are in that same classification. So it may be something we'll look at in the future, but for right now we're having a good time with it. It does what we want it to, and that's all you can ask for. The technicians would be a little limited. I certainly understand that, but generals give you quite a little bit of bandwidth, and that works well for my situation. But by the way, I did copy the conditions, but you didn't mention the antenna. I'd be curious what the antenna is there. Go ahead.
Well, the antenna is it's quite an antenna. It's made by Vibraflex, people that make the Kias, and it's an NFET. It's 138 feet long. I put it up by happenstance. I had a multiband up, and it got hit by lightning. So I got talking to him at DX Engineering, and one of them said, try this, see if you like this. And it's a hell of an antenna.
Yeah, good for you. Well, you've got a nice signal, and your audio is really, really punchy, and that's really good. It's pretty hard to beat the IC-7300. It's a terrific radio, and they have really sold a lot of them. I mean, I think you'd be rather hard-pressed to talk with an operator who's not using one or has one in his shack, and we're kind of the same way. This is our backup radio that we bought in January, and it worked in the primary shack for a few weeks until we got the new Yaesu FTDX10. We're in an alternate location today because the Heil had conference calls, and we didn't want to bother her, so we moved this setup downstairs versus the primary shack. But it all works, and making contacts is the key there, Roger.
Well, it sounds good. It sounds real good. You've got 100% on the audio, that's for sure. And that's why I jumped in. I didn't know what you were running, and I was curious.
Well, yeah, I think the difference for me, and when I bought the radio, I had traded in a Yaesu radio at the time with the local amateur store that we have here, and I asked him, what's a good microphone to pair this with, and I told this story earlier, but a young man had come in before I'd gotten there, and his dad was a silent key, and he had brought this ICOM equipment in to see what it was worth, and if the individual would be interested in buying it, the store owner. And this microphone was part of that group. This is a Heil ICM for the gentleman's ICOM that he had at the time, and the gentleman suggested this would be a good match with the radio, and I really think it is. Of course, I've got a little adjustments on the transmit audio. I don't run much mic gain, and I run one on compression, and it seems to line up well there, Roger.
Oh, definitely. And I've heard that ICM is a good mic for the 7300. I kind of backed into this 30. I don't do well with hand mics, and after doing some research, I found that the 30 was better on the 7300 than the 50.
Is it frequency in use?
Yes, sir, it is currently. No, I understand that, John, and that makes sense. Again, everybody's voice is a little different, so there isn't a one size fits all. You have to use what works for you. And I think it sounds terrific. It's got some punch to it. So, for busting a pile up or DX perfectly. And that's what you're looking for. To me personally, if it's audible and you can understand it, and it doesn't make you cringe when you hear it, I mean, to me that's half the battle. Roger.
Yeah, no, I believe that, but I'll tell you what, that ICM sounds so good, I might go out and get one.
Well, that's nice of you to say. If I can ask you real quick, and if you don't mind telling me, I'd be curious about what your settings are, what you're using for mic gain and using for compression, and then you can tell me that, and then you can go into the menu. I'd be curious to see where your transmit audio is set as well.
Okay, the compression is 4. The compression is 4, and the mic gain is 40. In fact, that's up a little. I usually run it around 30. I don't know why it's up to 40. Maybe I was trying to bust through something, but yeah, it's the compression's always 4.
Okay, fine business. Well, the reason I asked that is I do a live stream every afternoon on YouTube, so our QSO is live and it's also being recorded. So if you wanted to listen to the playback, John, and hear what you sound like on the air, you can do that. And that's why I was curious what your settings are. And if you don't mind, maybe we could make a few different changes and see what you think there. Go ahead.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Where are you on YouTube?
You can actually go to my call sign. You can either find it through my QRZ page, and then I have a link for it, or you can go to YouTube and type in my call, and then you'll see today's video. And there's usually about a 30-second lag thereabout, so it doesn't work really well when you're live and trying to listen. But I will tell you this: we would probably be, our QSO probably started about the 2-hour 2022 mark, 2:22. So you could fast forward to that part. So that would give you a start. But what I'd like for you to do, if you don't mind, is take your compression from 4 down to 2, and let's see what it sounds like.
Sure. Give me your call sign, too, while you're at it.
Yeah, the call is K0RWB Radio Whiskey Bravo.
Okay, K0RWB Radio Whiskey Bravo.
Yes, sir, that's the one.
Okay, that's 2 right there.
Okay, and then take your mic gain and go down to 30.
Okay, that's 30. I usually run it at 30.
Okay, and about how far away from the microphone are you?
Oh, I'm 2 feet.
You probably want to get a little closer.
Yeah, well, I've got all these papers and computers here. That's a little closer right there.
Okay, fair enough. And what do you have your settings for transmit audio?
Well, I gotta get the memory.
Well, the easiest way I can think of is if you go to menu, the button down below, to go to the screen to set, and then at the top of page 1, you'll have your audio settings, and then you can click on transmit audio, and then you can either set your bass and your treble.
Yeah, I just dug with that. Now when I key up, I missed the memory here. Let me. I think on the. the tone and the treble, or the bass and the treble. I'm 30 and 30.
Okay, so you've got them at +3 and +3, or -3 and -3?
No, I've got them at +3 and +3.
Okay, fair enough. Well, that's not a bad setting. Not a bad setting. If you're that far away the mic because computers and stuff are in the way, I would probably maybe move my mic gain up to around 35 a little bit, because it sounded a little distant, and then see how that works for you.
Okay, I put it up to 35 there.
Yeah, it doesn't sound bad at all. Again, the 30 probably doesn't have much as much as low end as maybe some of the other microphones. This ICM, I believe, is 18. Oh, excuse me. I think it's either 70 or 80 hertz up to 18,000. Of course, we're not able to use that much because we're dealing with 3KC, but it has a little bit more load to it. So that might make a difference for you. Again, you can go back to your original settings. I just wanted to try it and see what you thought and what it sounds like in my receive. I can tell a difference. I'm not saying it's any clearer. It sounds to me it sounds a little bit more full, if that makes sense to you, John. But again, the settings are, little changes go a long way. So a little bit here, a little bit there can make a difference. Again, my mic gain's at 20. And I think a lot of it's because of the microphone. And I'm a good 8 to 10 inches away from the mic, so if I get too close, it'll really start to overdrive it there, Roger.
Yeah, no, it sounds good to me, because I can't hear it. So, yeah, whatever you can suggest works out good for me.
No, and when the band is quiet, boy, your signal is just phenomenal. And the audio is just crystal clear, and of course that's what we're looking for. Again, these I did see that these new ones, the ICMs, are not a very expensive microphone, and that's fine with me. My last microphone was $22, and it worked great on my other radio. It doesn't work on this one because I tried it, that's why I went to this ICM. But it's a good matchup. I will say this. And it does give a little bit more fidelity and a full range. I mean, you can certainly narrow it up and you can make it a little bit wider, but I think this is a good mix of both, Roger.
Oh, definitely. I've been looking at that Heil Pro 10. I think they want $269 for it. It's kind of pricey.
That's a good mic. The PR40 is a good one. I also run a PR781 on my other radio, and I mean, Heil makes a great mic no matter what. There's an HM12 that's a good mic. The Heil Gold Line Elite is a terrific microphone. I was fortunate with the store we had here. I took my radio and my headset, and I got to try 4 different microphones and got to listen to them, and it kind of dialed it in for me, and that's why I went where I went with it. Roger?
Yeah, well, sounds good. And that was a good way to go.
Yeah, I was very lucky, and again, this setup was really good right out of the box. As soon as I plugged the microphone into this, I made just a couple little changes because I think the 7300s out of the box have mic gain at 50, which I think is too high, and it did not have any compression, so I have compression at 1 and mic gain at 20. Other than that, I really kind of left it alone, and it works really good. And like I said, I don't mean to make you question yourself. I think the audio sounds good as well. I just wanted to try a few things and see if I could hear a difference in my receive. Plus, if you go to the channel, you'll be able to listen to it yourself and see if it makes sense to you as well.
Well, I appreciate that. I'll go do that. I've got to go put the feedback on the XYL giving me a caller here. Or the better half. So it's good talking to you. Thanks for the suggestion. I definitely need them. So I think it's K0RWB. This is N1JWS/AG.
Yeah, pretty close, John. Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo. Red, white, and blue. And that name here is Randy. And I didn't mention it earlier, but thank you again for your service to the country. Probably don't hear it enough or as much as you should, but it means a lot to me. We served our time too. They just didn't bother to tell us how long our term was. But thank you so much for you. Enjoy the rest of your day, John. And give a listen to the YouTube channel, see what you think. And if not, we're out here 2:00 Central during the week. And if you hear us again, please give us a call. I'd love to have a chance to talk with you again and see how things are going for you. In the meantime, 7-3s, you're gonna end up being the last one of the day for us. November 1, Juliet Whiskey Sierra / Alpha Golf, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 7-3s.
Okay, Randy, thanks again, 7-3s.
You bet. K0RWB, Randy, Kansas City, clear QRT.